I think we'll all agree that selling a home is probably one of the most stressful things that someone will do during the course of their life. The music in the background, is that coming in? No, but is that coming in the video? For me, I think the first impression is the last impression, which means in order to get your property ready for sale, you need to ensure that it's properly dressed, remember that it's clean, start again, too long a pause. At Lucas Fox, we pride ourselves on having an in-house client relations department that pre-qualifies all inbound buyer inquiries.
Mo, what are the underlying motivations to sell?
I think fundamentally when an owner's looking at putting their property on the market for sale, it's driven by one of three factors. Either they're upsizing due to increasing family needs, downsizing because maybe the children have flown the nest, or relocating for professional reasons. But understanding the motive behind why the seller's putting the property on the market is a crucial part of tailor-making a plan dedicated for the seller.
How important is listing your property with an agency?
I think we'll all agree that selling a home is probably one of the most stressful things that someone will do during the course of their life. And it's surprising that a lot of owners think by taking some photos and putting the property online themselves in order to save the fee, they'll actually be able to do a good job for the property. But actually that in turn does more harm than good. In reality, an agency like Lucas Fox uses market comparables and comes up with a solid and concise pricing strategy to make sure that we get the best price for your property on the market.
How do you go about valuing a property?
Setting the accurate price for your property is one of the cornerstones and foundation from the get-go. Making sure that we use comparable market data, looking at any historical trends and comparables in the market is a super important part of the overall process. Getting the pricing right from the first step will ensure a smooth and successful sale for your property overall.
So if I'm a homeowner, what would be the benefits of signing an exclusive agreement with Lucas Fox, for example?
I think as I mentioned previously, selling a property can be a daunting and overwhelming process. By instructing Lucas Fox on an exclusive basis, what it allows you to do is have one point person that will coordinate all of the viewings, coordinate all of the end-to-end process of the offer and the transaction, and making sure that your property is not overexposed on the property market. What that also allows you to do is maintain complete privacy throughout the process and have a hassle-free and safe transaction.
How do you get your home ready for sale?
For me, I think the first impression is the last impression, which means in order to get your property ready for sale, you need to ensure that it's properly dressed, remember that it's clean, the small details matter. So things like cleanliness, odors, mess, clutter, these things are super important when coming to how to actually get your property ready for market, ensuring that buyers have the best first impression when they enter your home in the space.
Can you help me understand what is the timeline to sell?
This can vary depending if it's cash or with financing. If you're using 100% of your own funds, you can go from offer to public deed within around 4 weeks. If you're looking at taking on a mortgage, this can go up to around 12 weeks. At Lucas Fox, we work in order to get a transparent process so that you can then organize your home move or moving in and make sure that it's as smooth and stress-free as possible.
How do you find and filter potential buyers?
At Lucas Fox, we pride ourselves on having an in-house client relations department that pre-qualifies all inbound buyer inquiries. This way, filtering and matching perfect buyer for your home, ensuring they have a genuine interest, but also the financial capabilities of purchasing your property should they wish to proceed with an offer. This way, this streamlines the entire end-to-end process for you and makes it more stress-free as in a homeowner.